was about good examples of productivity. I think this is really interesting because I don't want to get into like a really detailed analysis of, here's a typical like economic model of productivity. That's not what I'm here about. That's not what I do. But I think it's more important that you understand yourself and what your examples or what it might be to you. So a big one for me is that when I feel or when I know I'm being productive, it's when I do the tasks that I have assigned myself. And that sounds really simple, but that means that I'm kind of narrowing in from both sides on, I don't have too many tasks left over, which meant I probably did a poor job of time management or of kind of assigning tasks to myself as opposed to delegating or getting rid of some. And then I'm not also left with that, like, well, I don't have anything to do. I feel like I should be doing something. Okay, so I think that that's a really good sign. When you have that, you're said, I'm going to finish at 4 p.m. today, maybe finish 4:10, 4:15, all your tasks are cleared off and you've got that feeling of completeness. That's a very good example of being productive. There's another obvious one for me, and I think a lot of people, and that's having less stress. Okay, I think when you're more productive, and this goes hand in hand with time management and organization, it brings down your stress level. And this is something internal. I think everybody understands what it feels like to be stressed for themselves. But this is an example of the output of productivity is you lower your stress levels. And then along with that is that feeling of forgetting something, or like you're not sure if you've forgotten something, but maybe you have. I think once you tend to get rid of or lower those feelings, right, it happens from time to time. But I know when we get busy, you can get in that zone where you're constantly feeling like you're dropping the ball, or you might be leaving something undone, something like that. So lowering that and dealing with those is a good example of productivity. Something else to me is being okay with not doing everything. I think that this is really important, that, when you get to a point where you're very productive, you've got to be okay with not doing it all. You can do the high level stuff yourself, whatever it is you got to get done. You can automate a lot of stuff. You can delegate, hand it off to employees or partners, and you need to be able to delete. Okay. And if you're not doing these things, or at least one or two of them, then, I really would question how productive you are. If you're trying to do everything yourself, you've got to build that framework where you can get some of the stuff handed off or off of your plate, because there's no way you're ever going to be able to do it all. And then lastly, I think a really good sign is when you're doing a review, and hopefully you're doing some sort of review, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, you can see the progress that you've made. Okay, instead of just doing things and being productive, you're being productive and you're making progress in your goals. Okay, and even if you don't reach them, it's kind of the idea of aiming high. So when you look back on maybe the last 30 days, you should be able to say, okay, I've made measurable progress to my goal instead of just doing busy work. Okay, I think that those are all really good, if not examples of productivity, then really good indicators. Thanks for watching. You can stay up to date by subscribing right there. If you'd like to come join our free Facebook group about process, automation, productivity, all that good stuff, you can do that right there. Just answer the few quick questions and you'll be in.